Good enough. There are a heck of a lot of long names in this rally, I got to tell you.
Yeah, no, it's confusing, Nina. So I know a lot of you, and I got to know you over the course of the last couple of years and started sending out a newsletter, an e-newsletter under the name Atlantic Climate Community, which is basically just our relationships, you know. And I'm now working full-time for Sierra Club. Yeah, it's great. I get to make this part of my work day now, so that's pretty cool. So I want to say that I know I'm preaching to the choir here. So I don't need to tell you all the reasons why it's wrong that Owl's Head was delisted or that other parks will be delisted. You know. And there are others who can explain it better than me. My question to you is, how are we going to change that? So you folks have done an amazing job of bringing attention to this particular battle. You've organized petitions. You've got tons of members on your Facebook page. You've raised money. And you've got great signs. So kudos to all of you for getting this far and getting it into the courts behind me. So what's next? I listened to an interview with Bill McKibben, the founder of 350.org. I've listened to it a couple of times because I'm really interested in what he has to say. He's one of the earliest pioneers of, sort of the climate action movement. And he talks about how he lost a couple of decades thinking that if he and others could just present enough studies and reasonable arguments that, the government and industry and anybody else would say, oh, okay, this is really bad, this is serious, we actually have to act on that. And, he's a guy, he's probably in his 70s now, and he said, we lost a lot of time with that thinking. So what he says now is that what's required is changing the zeitgeist. So the zeitgeist is sort of, what we all think is normal and right. For the fact that we're all wearing masks right now, that's part of the new zeitgeist. If people had come to Nova Scotia 2 years ago and said we were all going to be wearing masks, I think we would have laughed at them, right? But now we are. So that's part of a zeitgeist. So how do we begin to change this zeitgeist where somehow it's within the realm of normal that land can be delisted as a provincial park and sold to a developer for a golf course? So, for peanuts, yes, yeah. We'll give you a real bargain, but if you were Nova Scotia citizens trying to protect the land, sorry, the price goes up, right? So there's something, even the dog agrees. So there's something fundamentally amiss here, and I don't think we're gonna solve it just by pointing it out to Premier Rankin and Chuck Porter and so on. In fact, I would like to personally thank them both because they've made the lines pretty clear, and we can see that you can campaign on a platform of environment and get in, but we're just kind of changing faces in an otherwise rigged system, right? So thank you, Premier Rankin, for reminding us or clarifying that, you know? So again, how are we going to change things? So here's my proposition to you, and I think we're already doing it. I think some of you know that. But it's going to take a movement, right, to change this. And that means we're not fighting one battle at a time, like a game of whack-a-mole. Anybody play whack-a-mole when they were kids or take their kids to play it? I was always really bad at that. My son could whack down all the alligator heads, but I was like, ah! So, you know, if we were to think of this as a game of whack-a-mole, we got Owl's Head popping up, we've got clear cutting popping up, we've got a toxic dump in Arlington popping up, we've got a mine in Donkin popping up, which is expelling methane and torturing the neighbors with sound pollution. So, and we have treaty rights in Mi'kma'ki that are not being honored. So, if we stand together, we have a shot. If we stand alone, we can, some of us will succeed because, you know, they have to throw us a bone now and again, right? But we need to stand together and make it clear that we are changing the zeitgeist. That when you harm Owl's Head, you harm treaty rights, you harm every other community that is fighting to preserve the land and the waters and the rights of Nova Scotians to a clean and healthy, caring province. I think we do that not by going to the legislature cap in hand and saying, you have to listen to us, do what we want. I think we've done it, and we've done it well. We've proven that, you know, we can get signatures on a petition. We can get people to send in postcards. But I think now we kind of have to go over their heads a little bit and talk directly to the people. You know, Bill McKibben explains it very clearly. He said, you know, when you change the zeitgeist, you make space for the right people to step into positions of power in the legislature and do what the people want, not what the current system wants, which is basically, you know, fueled by corporate interests, right? So let's speak directly to the people as best we can. And the government has a choice. They can either do this the easy way or they can do this the hard way. Okay? So I say to you, we will succeed. And I would encourage you all to not just let that go in one ear and out the other, but to say to yourselves right here and now, we're going to succeed. It's just a question of how. Because we don't actually have a choice. You know, although we're, you know, we can think in terms of the short-term goal of why we want to save Owl's Head or a forest or whatever, but I think most of you know here, we're also fighting for the future of the planet. And how many of you are parents? How many of you are grandparents? How many of you want to see your children be allowed to bring children into this world? Yeah. And how many of you are really connected to the trees or animals that graze here? Yeah. So, this isn't just a rah, whatever. It's in the heart, right? That can't be defeated. We can't lose, and we won't lose, because we'll stand together and we'll figure this out. And the government can choose, government and industry, quite honestly, can choose the easy way or the hard way. The golf course will never be built, because if it doesn't win in the courts, I know that folks are going to sit on the roads to block those trucks from trying to create a golf course. Right? So like I said, they can choose the easy way or the hard way. How many people here pay property taxes, land taxes, income tax? So, hard way or easy way, government, you're spending our taxpayers' dollars. So we don't have to give you our taxpayers' dollars. So we're going to succeed. We're going to have each other's backs, and it is choiceless now, because we have nothing to lose except everything.